So before we end this, I want to talk about Street Fighter 6. It was revealed. I stayed up for this reveal because it was heavily hinted, and I was like, yes, please be Street Fighter 6. I love Street Fighter, but Street Fighter 5 was booty cheeks at the beginning, at the very least. At the end, it got good, but it took a long time. And if I really wanted to be able to have the full experience, I would literally have to pay around the same price as the original game was to now have what it should have been from basically the beginning. The game launched with 16 characters, my nigga. 16 characters. Like, there were certain characters not on that, like not in the main roster, that would make you scratch your head. Like, Guile wasn't in the main roster. Balrog wasn't in the main roster. Sagat, Akuma, like they were missing some pivotal characters. Who is it? E Honda. Like they were missing some very pivotal characters, and I'm like, bro, what's going on? And eventually they added all of those characters, and more, and some new ones, and some old ones that hadn't been in the games for a while. But it took them a long time to make the game, to have the game reach a state to where it felt like it was actually a complete game rather than the unreleased mess that they initially released. So I'm hoping Street Fighter 6 is released in a finished state with over 20 characters, and they have the staples in there, along with some of the new characters and some returning characters. And the trailer showed that they are switching art styles. So they have this thing called the RE engine, Capcom. They use it for, it's obviously called RE engine because of Resident Evil. Naturally, they use it for Resident Evil. The first time they used it, I think, was for not Resident Evil 2 remake. They use it for that, but was for Resident Evil 7. Was the first time they used the RE engine. As far as I can, as far as my knowledge. And they used it for that. They used it for Devil May Cry 5. They used it for Resident Evil 8, and they used it for Resident Evil 3 remake. And they're using it for a lot of their games. And now they're going to be using it for Street Fighter 6, most likely, based on the style change, which a lot of people assumed that they were going to use that engine because it's a good engine. They've been using it for all their games. And they're going a slightly more realistic style, but still not fully realistic. Kind of like, it's still a bit of stylized, with like some proportions being what's the word I'm looking for? Just being abnormal, I guess. And I'll put up some images of what Ryu looks like in the current game. They made a costume that a lot of people said should be his base costume for a very long time, his base costume in this game, where he's essentially has no shirt and he has a beard. Everybody was like, Hot Ryu needs to be his main costume. Like, this should be the evolution of Ryu. As he's also wearing like sandals now, which he never wears shoes. But yeah, and I'm mostly, I was about to say I'm mostly excited to see what Ken looks like because he is my favorite Street Fighter character. And he's they made him look less like, he doesn't wear this just a red gi anymore. He wears like a kind of like an Under Armour shirt, but his face is hideous in Street Fighter 5. And a lot of people are upset because Ken has not looked good in the game since like Street Fighter 3. So hopefully he looks good in this game. But if I'm being honest, I don't know if you've seen the trailer or seen any of the images. Have you, of like what Ryu looks like in that game?
I saw the trailer.
So I'm not gonna lie, I gotta be real. Like immediately I was like, man, what is Chun-Li gonna look like though?
I mean, honestly, you're not lying. You're not.
What Cammy gonna look like though? What Jury gonna look like?
I was gonna say Cammy is immediately what came to mind for me. Cammy is my Street Fighter bae. Like
Chun-Li came in mind first because she's easily the biggest character in all Street Fighter, probably all fighting games, really. And then Jury came second, and Cammy, because Jury is like my second main after Ken. She's my secondary, and she's easily my favorite of all the woman characters. But like, I'm just like, what the girls gonna look like though? Because if Ryu look like this, what they gonna look like? But that's all I really got to say about that. I'm interested. I'm excited. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully it's a good game, so I can get some friends to purchase it so we can play it. Because none of my friends ever want to play Street Fighter with me.